Oregon. All right, so officially, since our recording is started, so to answer that question, yes, it's going to be recorded. I'll talk about that in a minute. But welcome to day number 1 of Your Spiritual Business Unblocked. I am so excited. There's been so much energy building around this, and it's just been like popping today. So it's kind of like great to just be here with all of you right now. So let's just go through a few basic things. Some of you I know and some of you I don't. So I'm going to just start off by saying my name's Holly Hawkins. And I'm so happy that you're here. Now, if you are somebody who is a light worker or a life coach, and light worker, covers a lot of territory. So if you identify as a light worker, somebody who's here helping others, helping yourself, supporting people and living to their fullest, let us know what you do in the chat. You might meet somebody here who, might be a good business soulmate friend for you, and somebody who maybe is in your neighborhood or in your general area of the world, somebody in the same line of work, because we're creating community here, right? We're creating community here. And I'm going to just say this again, because I said it before, but not everyone knows here. And I also said it before we were hooked up to Facebook. If you see the gorgeous Lacey, she's here. And actually, for some of you, you may not see her, but if you see the name Lacey in the chat in Facebook or here on Zoom, she's here supporting me. She's our tech goddess. So if you need some support, you can write her name in there. If you see somebody answering a question of yours and it's from Lacey, you know that she's supporting me. So just give her all the love, because I couldn't do it all without her. So I see lots of people chiming in. A hypnotherapist from Canada. I need a tech goddess. We all need a tech goddess, don't we? Or God. Janet is here, a shadow coach, Reiki healer, Akashic record reader, energy healing, whole person coaching, so many, many things. So now let's talk about what we're going to be doing. As you know, 5 days. And what it really means is we're meeting tonight, which is Thursday. We're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific, and the time zones in between. And if you're in a different continent, we'll figure that out later. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It says 60 to 90 minutes. Let's be honest. If you know me, let's just assume 90, and for sure 90 today. All right. The thing is, I don't know how to not over deliver. That's kind of a shortcoming of mine. I think I need to go to a support group for it. I have so much to talk about even today. So just allow for that time there. If for some reason your schedule doesn't allow you to be here the whole time, that's cool. Be here as long as you can. These are being recorded. And every single day we'll be here on Zoom and also live streaming into the Conscious Conversations with your Facebook group. Now, if you registered, meaning you got reminder emails, then a link to the replay, which will be on the YouTube page, will be available to you. Lacey will be getting that out to you. Well, it's not going to look like it comes from Lacey, but Lacey's the one that's going to make that happen. And if you're in the Conscious Conversations group, they will automatically be archived there. Now, how long are they going to be there? That's been the million-dollar question for people. The replays are going to be up, available, and active through Sunday evening, February 26th. So you have lots and lots of time to get to the replays if you can't be here the whole time or days that you're going to miss. Now, if you're not in the Conscious Conversations group, Lacey's going to put that link in the chat, well, she doesn't need to put it in the chat on Facebook, right? Because you're already there. She can put it in the Zoom chat. This is where everything else goes on. If we want to have an ongoing conversation, if you have a question in between times. You're going to meet, our group now is, oh, I don't know, we're getting close to or around 750 people. It's really been exploding, which has been so much fun. So many light workers coming together with this shared vision of us being able to really go out and play full out. So in our 5-day series, we're going to be talking a lot about energy. Okay. Now, we're light workers. We talk about energy. So you'd say, of course we do, Holly. But we were also going to talk about your energy. We're going to talk about your business and its energy. And of course, what's near and dear to my heart, the Akashic Records. I'm going to call out Maria, who's here. If any of you can see Maria. Maria, you going to hate me for doing this? Maria's on the Zoom, and Maria was my original Akashic Records teacher back in the day. Yay, Maria. So I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Maria. So I'm glad Maria's here. And so when we talk about energy, more importantly than anything else, we're going to open up to a new way or expanding way of relating to the energy of you and your business together to create forward momentum that can take you in the direction of your dreams and desires. Okay. Who doesn't want that, right? That's what we're here for, right? There's that thing that's calling us from our heart, and we feel like we're not going to get out of here without doing it, but sometimes we don't know how. Now, I'm going to ask a question that has come up a lot. What if you're still thinking about your business? Maybe you're still studying. Maybe you've been dreaming about having an energy-based practice or light work practice, and it's not started yet. It's okay. Don't worry. Everything that we're going to be doing in the 5 days is adaptable to wherever you're at in your business or your practice journey. Now, the other part of this also is that, as you just heard me say, we're going to be using the Akashic Records during our training. It's perfectly fine if you've had experience in the Akashic Records. It's perfectly fine if you haven't. Tomorrow, when we're doing our main opening to the Akashic Records, I'm going to teach you how to, or introduce you is a better way to say it, introduce you to the way I use. Now, if you use a different method for opening the Akashic Records during our Akashic Records experience, do whatever you want, right? I don't mind. You know, my feeling is there's no better or worse about how we open the Akashic Records. Let's just do it. So if you have something that's near and dear to your heart, please use that. Just because you're here and I'm showing you the way that had came through me and my work in the Akashic Records, that probably was confusing. Maria taught me in a different system. I'm using my own system now. Sorry if that created confusion. So you'll be fine doing everything we do in this, no matter how you open the Akashic Records. Okay. All right, so I hope you feel landed and present, and let's get started with this. And because not everyone knows who I am, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. I'm not going to do a big long thing, but just also telling you what my motivation was to create this 5-day training. So I've been a light worker, you know, and professionally as a light worker. I mean, I can take things back to when I was a child and I started seeking, and you could say, well, I was a light worker then too. But when I'm moving professionally into this aspect of my life, it started in 2006, about 17 years ago. But the truth is, before 2006, I had a life that was totally unrelated to this. I want everyone to hear this. I came into this work professionally when I was almost 50. Almost, not quite. And so I spent a lot of years obviously doing other things. So prior to getting into light work and following this aspect of my life, I spent a lot of years as a stay-at-home mom. You know, I washed cloth diapers and hung them up on the line. I soaked beans and cooked vegetarian food for my kids. We had a garden in the backyard. I did some homeschooling. I was that crunchy granola mom. And then went back to school after my kids got a little bit older, got my teaching credential, and I taught middle school math and science for a number of years. So mostly to sixth graders and 11 and 12-year-olds. But then in 2006, I was on a retreat and I was guided to step into my life's purpose, being told that what you're doing is not your life's purpose. And so long story short is this brought me into this world of energy healing and personal transformation. And the truth is I was a massive fish out of water. You can imagine me being a crunchy granola stay-at-home mom, and then a public school teacher. Suddenly here I am as an energy healer, light worker. My life up to that point had not prepared me to be a solopreneur. And at that time I was also a single parent. I had no idea at all about running my own business. Absolutely none. The truth is I was suddenly an energy worker, an energy practitioner, trying to figure out how to make a living. And I was literally, as I've said, I wasn't prepared. I had zero idea how to put myself out there, how to feel comfortable attracting clients, how to market. Now, I loved what I learned as that initial healing modality. It was beautiful. It was exquisite. It was so powerful. But the rest of it, like, wait, how am I supposed to support myself? I had none of that. So how many of you can relate to that feeling? Like, I'm super passionate about what I want to go out in the world with. I have no idea how to do it, right? That's what we're here. So put a thumbs up or a yes in the chat, raise your hand, whatever you want. Like, I can relate. I can relate. Yeah, me too, I see. Thumbs up, right. And so I want to just sort of cut to the chase now. And now that's not the case. The truth is that I have been consistently and constantly growing and expanding my spiritual business. And every year, the truth is, it gets a little bit better than the one before. And I'm very optimistic about my mission, who I'm here to help and support, and my ongoing expansion. But it didn't start that way. And it's because along the way, over these last 17 years, I've learned, I've grown, I've understood more, and I've gained confidence. But what's also happened along the way is I've actually interacted with tons of light workers, energy healers of all sorts, all over the planet, who were just like me. They were in the same place I was. And see if you can relate to this. They too invested a lot of time, energy, and money into developing their skills and their crafts, right? You've all done that. You've all been there, done that. I've met so many incredible healers, psychics, mediums, channels, life coaches, and on and on. And they have many, many energy and life skill tools in their practitioner toolbox, but they're not out there with a vibrant business. And that's the part I'm here to end that. We need to stop that shenanigans. Who's with me on that? We're going to stop that shenanigans. All right. So the key point here is that it's one thing to learn your tools and your modalities. It's essential, right? If that's what you're going to go out there, of course you need to learn that. But it's another thing altogether to create the momentum for a thriving practice. So learning your modalities and your services are just the beginning, but they're not your ending point. And I've discovered that there really aren't people out there talking about it at all. So there are a lot of light workers who aren't feeling good about themselves, questioning if they're doing the right thing. And I've even known many, many who were so gifted and they ended up going back to what they were doing before because they couldn't make it sustainable. Back in the day, I questioned if it would be better for me to just go back to teaching school. It would have been safe and secure. So in the last few years, I've had this huge flame ignited in me to really stand up for light workers. And so that it's time for all of us as light workers, and I include myself in this too. I'm not beyond this. No matter how long we've been doing this, we're always going to meet an edge where we're not comfortable, and we're going to get to the next level and get to the next level. So it's just time for all of us as light workers, as healers, as coaches, life transformers in any way, shape, or form, to be confident, to step out there without hesitation, without fear, without worry, and also with the knowledge to successfully navigate the creation of your dream practice on your terms. I'm not one who says, there's all the talk about 6-figure business or 7-figure business. Like, no, let's let that go too. Let's make it a right-sized business for us. And more importantly than anything else, the right-sized business for where you are right now and the next steps of where you are right now, from where you are right now. Truth is, if you're here to grow into a 6 or 7-figure business, awesome. But we do it one step at a time, don't we? We don't start from nothing and then suddenly be at 6 and 7 figures. Yeah, you've probably all heard that saying about it took 10 years to become an overnight success. So people who you see out there who appear to be an overnight success, they put in some hard work. And the key to make it sustainable is to do it in a way that's particularly aligned with us. All right. Now, before we dive into tonight's topic around energy, I'm going to invite you to take a moment here to open up to where you're at in your journey. And we're going to start out with tapping into the vision that's calling each and every one of you forward in your unique way. Because the truth is, there is a vision that's calling you forward. It's not whether it's manifest or not, but there's a why inside you. So we'll connect with us. I'm going to invite you, if you're in the right place, that you feel that you can do this, I'm going to invite you to just take a deep breath, close your eyes down. And that deep breath can just be slow and full. Allow yourself to center into your body. It's really good as light workers to remind ourselves to get grounded back into our human experience. This is where we've chosen to be. And as you do, become aware for a moment of your breath flowing in and out. Maybe you can feel the air flowing through your nostrils, how your body responds with the inflow and the outflow of your breath. Maybe allow your awareness to drop into the space of your heart. And allow yourself now to open to the vision that is alive in you now at this moment. The vision for you of your ideal spiritual business or your passion project, your offering to the world. It might include one-on-one work with others. Maybe group experiences, books, products, podcasts, videos, retreats. Open up to what is asking to be birthed through you. Allow your vision to be your guide, maybe your compass or your pole star. What would your ideal experience of your spiritual business be for you right now? And as you open to this, how does this vision feel? As you connect again, how does it feel to you in its fully embodied potential? Let yourself go there. How do you feel as you envision this? Do you feel satisfied, happy? Impactful, successful? On track? How do you feel fulfilling this mission and purpose? So we're bringing the vision together and anchoring it with our feelings here. And allow it to move into your physical, mental, and emotional bodies, your energy bodies as well, and just feel it, allow for it. As you do this in a journal or if in your workbook on pages 2 and 3, if you want, you could jot down some key ideas or points if you wish. And if you go back to this or you're watching the replay, you can pause this at any time to spend a little more time with this. But we're going to just shift gears a little bit now that you've really felt your vision. Some of you may be loving it so much that you want to stay there. It's okay, you can come back to it. But let's move on to the next part of this initial energy experience. And I'd like to invite you to open up to where you're currently at. What's your current experience with your spiritual business? Now we're doing this in a loving, non-judgmental place. We're observing, we're not criticizing. So where are you at right now? And we also know that some of you have a dream about your spiritual business and you're getting ready for it. Some of you may have already begun, but you know that there's something more that you'd like to be doing. Some of you already have a vibrant spiritual practice or business, and you want to expand it to the next level. You want to add or pivot. And as you connect with this, allow wherever you are to be okay. You're observing lovingly and kindly. We want to begin noticing, based on where you're at right now, what are your current feelings about that? What have your challenges been? How's it felt? So now let's combine both of these experiences together, both of the visualizations. Your initial vision, it's coming out, you're feeling it emanating from your heart deep within you, and your current reality. It's okay if there's a gap. It's okay. But we want to notice that difference, that space between our vision and our current reality. And as you become aware of where you are right now, and then feel the energy of your vision, we want to notice the space between these two experiences. It's open, isn't it? There's a distance, or there's a gap that you're being called to move across. Sometimes that gap might feel insurmountable, but you're being called forward to close that gap. One of the first things as you feel this gap that you want to expand is that energy of trust. As you notice it, the gap between where you are and where your vision is calling you. Trust in your vision. Trust in your ability to close that gap. Trust that you have what it takes, even if you haven't done it yet. It's okay. That vision is really letting you know that you have seeds within you to fulfill this beautiful vision that you've connected with. So open up and feel yourself breathing in trust in yourself and your ability to move from where you are right now to where your vision is pulling you. And then take a nice breath in. And as you release it out, become aware of your physical body and the place where you find your physical body, the chair, the room. And if you wish, you can just stay in that space of feeling your vision, feeling that growing trust in yourself. If you want, you can jot some notes down, maybe some key terms if you wish. And remember, you can always go back to your workbook and you can come back to this experience to spend more time with it if you would like it. And as we're coming back, if you have something you'd like to share, please, you can in the chats, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's here on Zoom. So we'll go to that slide, Lacey. I'm not seeing your screen share. So does everyone see that new slide that just popped up on the screen? Okay, awesome. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about energy, as I already mentioned before. And because we cannot speak about you creating your dream practice, your dream life, without addressing energy. Okay. The truth is that energy is the key element in aligning and creating the practice and life that you desire. I know marketing people wouldn't tell you that, would they? They tell you, you need to have your website ready, you need to have your branding, your logo, you need to have your ideal client, created and understood. All of that is part of this. But it really, my experience, because listen, I've done those things. I've done those things with the marketing people and doing all that. And it's valuable, but it won't make the difference if you're not in energetic alignment first. Many years ago, I worked with some people, and they really were beautiful. They were wonderful. And I received so much guidance from them, and did not, even though spent a tremendous amount of money with them, actually didn't do most of what they said. And the reason why, I didn't know it at the time, but the reason why was because I wasn't energetically aligned yet. They were more aligned than I was. Like, they could see my potential and I wasn't there yet. So this energy piece is really critical for us. And I don't mean critical like life-threatening, but it's so important, because if you don't have the energy piece understood and ways to work into alignment with it, you're going to work a lot harder than you need to. And I don't want you to have to do that. So I'm actually going to go so far, and I kind of said this already, that I believe it's actually impossible to create a positive, sustainable practice without being energy aware. Or if you do, you're exhausting yourself. And most of the people who you see out there, no matter what level of success it is because they're energetically congruent. They're already energetically congruent. And so the key then is, how do we figure out how to consciously, intentionally shift our energies so that we are congruent, so that we know what we want to be congruent with, and then we know how to do it. This is the key here. Okay, so I know many of you are very seasoned and experienced in the topic of energies. Not everyone is on the same page, so we're going to get on the same page with this introductory piece of this right now. Because as I said in the beginning, we're not just talking about your energy. We are talking about the energy of your business. And we're also going to include the energy of your visions. What you just tapped into there in your vision, it's not just a vision, it's an energetic frequency. It's a signature that you can line up with. So when you get the energy of your business and your dreams and your own energies lined up, that's where, in my mind, the magic starts happening. Okay. So Lacey, will you give me a thumbs up when this, okay, because for some reason I'm not seeing the screen share. So thank you for the thumbs up. I won't go look for it. Just your, so, all right. So as I've said, the sweet spot, see that little beautiful heart there? The sweet spot of your business success and impact is reflected in the intersection of these three key energies: you, the energy of your business, and the energy of your visions and dreams. Most of the time, we feel like it's all us. Our business and our vision, they're drag-alongs. How many of you can relate to that? Anyone having their mind blown by that? Like, if you start including the energy of your business and the energy of your vision as you're creating your work, you're going to have partners in the heavy lifting. Okay. All three of these energies matter. At least that's been my experience. And it's time for us to take off the backpack full of rocks and feel like it's too hard. Okay, because one reason we struggle is we're not really understanding that there are so many energies at play and available to us to help us create an ideal experience. Okay, so let's just take a look at the next slide. Because when we're lined up and utilizing, accessing, playing with all three of these potent energies, the truth is that we more easily embody our passion, our purpose, and we'll all included in our ideal practice. All right. So what we're going to do now is actually look at 5 foundational energy concepts. Now, listen, there are a lot more, but we're just going to look at 5. And if you want to take a look at it, maybe take some notes on what I'm about to say. It's page 4 of your workbook, if you have that. There's some lines there to take some notes if you wish. So are we good, Lacey? Nope, not yet. Okay, I'm just going to start talking. You can just give me the thumbs up because I can see you, Lacey. So, all right, concept number 1. And listen, we all know this. If we're light workers, we all know this, but let's just have this as this foundational energy that we all start with. Everything is energy. Now, we forget this all the time, don't we? We forget this, but everything is energy. We've heard about it. We might feel that we know this, but what we want to do is truly get it, that in order to create a life and a business that truly aligns with our sense of purpose, our mission, we want to really start understanding this, that everything is energy. Because you are an energy being that you perceive as a dense physical being on Earth. You're made of light. Science has even shown us that, right? We're light, but we just appear to be dense and physical. So at your core, the tiniest particles of each of your cell are high vibrating energy and frequencies. All right. And so is your business. So are your clients. So's the marketing. So's the sharing. Everything is energy. All right. So we want to take it beyond our physical body. We want to look at our body's energetic. Sorry, our human experience is energetic. Our business is energetic. All of it is energy, all of it, including the marketing that you all hate. Because I would imagine most of you would say, I hate that the most. All right, so energy concept number 2, all energy is one, it's interconnected. So everything's energy, but it's also in a singular field. So now while we're here in 3D, we perceive separation. I'm separate from you, you're separate from the computer or the phone or the tablet that you're watching this on. It's easy for us to feel separate from other people, the grass, the trees, the car. It all appears separate. But on this energetic level, that separateness ceases to exist. So all life has the same foundation of energy. It's constantly moving, flowing, it's unseen. Well, some people can see it. Most of us can't, or most of us don't most of the time, especially like if we're driving our car, we might not want to see all the energy. We just want to see the traffic lights, right? So this lack of separation or this energetic continuity means that all energy impacts all other energy. Right? That's what, so this means that everything we think, and again, I know we're going back to basics here, but we want to have this foundation that we're going to springboard all of this from. So everything we think, everything we do, everything we feel, every way we move impacts the entire system. Now, our little mind can barely start to comprehend that, but most of us get a sense that that's probably true, right? And so What this also means is that we are impacted or influenced by everything else that happens in the whole system. All right. Energy concept number 3. Energy flows towards its vibrational match. You could say it's all magnetic, right? While we are all energies, there are different frequencies, there are different vibrations. I know that a lot of us like to say, oh, they're a high vibration, or they're a low vibration, or that's a high vibration or low vibration. I personally don't like to make it sound like it's better or worse. It's just they're different vibrations. And some vibrations we relate to and they feel good to us. There are other vibrations that we don't relate to and they don't feel better than us. I mean, good to us, right? Now, energy flows towards its vibrational match means the tendencies of these energies is to find their partners, their like vibration, their match. Now, we can easily see this energy affiliation in our personal relationships. There's some people that we just resonate to, we're naturally attracted to, we have an affinity for them. And we might say on some level that we relate to them because we have shared interests, because they're maybe in our family, maybe they're in the same place of employment, they are doing the same things, maybe they like the same hobbies that we do. But at an energetic level, we're drawn together due to some kind of energetic alignment or match. Now, here's the other piece of this, though. These vibrational matches aren't always positive, meaning they don't always feel great, but they're still a vibrational match. But that's another training. We'll get to that at another time. Okay, so just think of energies and frequencies, they're magnetic. You know, if I have magnets, you get the right ends together, so the like attracts like. Okay. So now, energy concept number 4, thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are energy too. So whether it's not just the energy of our physical body, but what we think about ourselves, about other people, about the world around us, even if it's somebody, a political leader, you don't like what they're doing on the other side of the world, it's all energy. And because our thoughts, beliefs, and our feelings are energy, they're dynamic and they're magnetic. So the truth is they shape your life and your experience just as much, and sometimes even more than the things that we're actually doing. In fact, oftentimes our actions are usually following the energy of our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. And of course, we do have our subconscious thoughts and beliefs, and we know about these. And those are sticky little things, aren't they? They can be sneaky, they can be elusive to us on this conscious level. And those subconscious ones are often not what we're aware of, but they're very impactful, right? Very, very impactful. And they're just as busy as all the other energies in our life that we're aware of. All right. So the last energy concept that we're going to talk about, who you are, is a complex pattern of energies. So yes, you are an energy being, but you have a unique energetic signature. Your life, all of it, your beautiful matrix that's made up of your unique thoughts, beliefs, feelings, experiences, and all of those are energies. So how did your unique energy matrix or your energy signature form? As I said, it's your own thoughts, it's your beliefs, and those could come from how you live your life and your experience have brought you to believe certain things. It could be beliefs from your family that you've kept because you like them or they resonated with you. Feelings, you have feelings about things. And all of the experiences in this lifetime that you've had, again, could be family, school, professional groups, friends, hobby groups. what you're drawn to in all of those ways, personal beliefs and affiliations, all of that means that, yes, you are all energy, but you have a very unique energetic pattern. Okay. And we'll go to the next slide now, Lacey. And because the reality is that when we begin to see our lives as a flow of energy, then we have the opportunity to more easily create, change, and manifest our desires and fulfill our passion and our purpose. It's helpful. It's supportive. And this, we're going to be working and talking about energy the whole time. And tomorrow, when we open the Akashic Records, that's exactly what we're dealing with, is tapping into our unique energetic signature and learning how to interact with it so we understand ourselves better. Okay. So now with all of this under our belts, I want to shift gears slightly to recognize that due to these energetic connections and this flow from within us and within the world around us, we really are creating our reality, what we're experiencing. Now, some of you may get mad at me because I just said that. It's not a condemnation about you or your energies if you're not happy with your life right now. I didn't say that. Listen, at any given moment, there are things that we love about our life. And there are things that we can't stand about our life, or that we wish would change, or we wish were easier. We always live in a full spectrum. Here we are in this beautiful polarity dimension. We always have that. But when we can start saying, if I create my reality, that means I can change my reality. I don't have to wait for the world to change. Okay? I love this. I personally feel very empowered. Even if I'm in a minute of hating, it's like, wow, I created this experience through my thoughts, beliefs, expectations, however it came about. Some of it I know, some of it I don't know. But I personally feel very empowered if I say, if I created this, I have an opportunity to uncreate it or create something new and different. I can magnetize different opportunities and experiences to me. Again, I just like the idea that I can be empowered to create an experience of life and not wait for the world or wait for that person or wait for that trauma to be resolved. It's anyone else get tired of waiting? Like, enough already with the waiting. Like, we've been waiting long enough. So the idea is, let's not wait for what's happening in the world. Let's feel that, wait, if I'm energy and I'm creating my reality, I have an opportunity to change. I have an opportunity to change it. And who better than me? So if you like this, I know some of you are already doing this. Just raise your hand. Thumbs up, yes, in the chat. Like, let's stand up for this, where we say, yeah, I get to create my reality now. Now, we're here talking about spiritual business as well. Everything I've said so far applies to our business as well. As we create and we grow our spiritual business, we want to become very aware of our energies that are flowing out into the world. And those begin with our thoughts and feelings. So take a minute. And again, you may want to take more time with this later. But what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you imagining about your business? You might realize you have all kinds of thoughts, but what's going on deep inside in your quiet moments about your business, no matter where you're at in that journey? invite you to just open up to what might be there right now as you hear this. And if you want, you can type them in the chat. You can jot them down in your workbook, in your journal, or just have the awareness without needing to write them down anywhere. That's okay. But the reality is that you might have also noticed that you have some conflicting thoughts and feelings. Anyone notice that? Conflicting thoughts and feelings? Yeah. On one hand, I bet you are stoked. You're so excited about your practice, your potential practice, your modalities, working with other people, working with groups, taking them on retreats to beautiful places, whatever it might be. I can imagine you're very excited and you love it, or you love the idea of it if you haven't quite started yet. I bet on the other hand, you might also have maybe some fear, worry, reservations, judgments, frustrations, ways that maybe you feel stuck, unable to move forward. You might have some ideas like, oh, the world looks like this. I don't know if it's the right time for me, right? What we want to do is become aware that, you know what, we have some conflicting thoughts and feelings. Really, really potent to understand we have conflicting thoughts and feelings. And you might say, Holly, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And I say, it's great, because I believe that anything that we're aware of is good, right? So if right now you just became aware of, wow, I thought I wanted a business and I realized I have conflicting thoughts and feelings around it, and I didn't know that before, that's golden as far as I'm concerned, because we can't change a thing. We don't change a thing if we don't have awareness. So we always want to start with what awareness do I have? Yeah, frustrations. I see that in the chat. The not knowing and excited anyway, all of the above. Yeah, conflicting thoughts, sabotage patterns. It's not for today, but maybe I'll do one of the Wellspring lives coming up soon on sabotage. I'm going to just ask who all feels like they sabotage themselves. If you do, I'm going to ask you to release that. I'm going to have to do a Wellspring on sabotage. Somebody remind me, okay? some of you who are always in Wellspring Live every week, remind me that I'm going to do one on sabotage. I don't believe in sabotage. You know what sabotage is? Means I'm trying to reach further than I'm willing to go right now. That's all it is. So if that's too much of a reach, where's the place that you can be in action? You know, because you know, what is sabotage? You're not intentionally hurting yourself. You're not going to do that. No, you're not. So we want to deconstruct that idea for you. But just open up to, maybe I'm not sabotaging myself. Maybe I'm reaching for something that's a little energetically not my next step. So let me find what my next step is that I can do. That's where the gold is in that. All right. We can't, you know, the whole thing about like procrastination, self-sabotage, we got to throw that CRAP out the window. All right. So now let's get on with this. I can just get so excited about all of this. All right. What we want to do is start to become aware, as I've already talked about, of what is predominantly floating around in our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. We want to be aware of that. Even if you say, oh my gosh, you know, I had a really close friend once, and we were doing some Akashic Records work around business, and they're actually pretty successful and very successful in their business. And it turned out in their reading, you know what came up? They actually hated being an entrepreneur. They hated it. So you'd say, like, how do you get so successful and hate it at the same time? Well, now you have the awareness, so you can start working with that to change that relationship. And then she's actually gotten a lot more successful. And so we want to just be aware, what's there? What's there? Okay. And we want to, and because, by the way, I'm going to give you a solution. Many of you know me, some of you don't. I'll never leave you without a solution. I'm a very solution-oriented person. All right. I'm not going to give you I hate that when people give you an idea, but they don't give you a pathway to start working with it. Drives me nuts. I'm not going to do that for you. All right. So, because we all want solutions, that's why we're here. All right. So I'll just go back and say that when I was starting out in my spiritual business, my energy practice, the truth is I often felt very frustrated. I was confused. You can imagine, I already told you my story. You know, you don't go from hanging diapers on the line and teaching school to try to figure out how to be a spiritual business owner. And the truth is, I really felt like a failure, 100%. I'm not just saying that, felt like a failure. But what I did notice later was that I was not consciously aware that I was holding conflicting energies. And as a consequence of that, those thoughts, those energies, and those beliefs, that's what I was transmitting out into this beautiful, connected, unified field. And I can now see, I didn't see it at the time, that I could see now why I magnetized some of those challenging experiences to me based on what I know was some of these deeply held beliefs. And, you know, I magnetized people to me who also gave me feedback in alignment with some of those beliefs too. All right. So we'll go to the next slide, Lacey. I know you're watching the chats and everything. So let's just take a look at this. How many of you can relate? And we've talked about some of this already. You may be aware of some of these things that feel hard. There's a sense of rejection, or you don't want to be rejected. There, you might have a fear. Oh, fear comes in. Fear is like the biggest thing. We could make lists of the ways we can be fearful. We might not feel good enough. Oh, I need to practice more. I haven't quite gotten good enough at this yet. We might feel confused. All those things. How many of you can relate to just some of those and maybe make your own list around some of that too, right? Yeah. So let's talk about solutions here, because I want to give you for today, day number 1 of 5, an easy way to begin pivoting those energies. Because it's likely that as you become aware of that, those tug of war energies, some of them you're not going to necessarily want to keep magnetizing, transmitting. That's what I feel like. It's my energetic transmission out into the world. It's going to bring a magnetic match. Is this what I want? And when we become aware of it, we say we don't, we want to start, feel like I'm empowered. I have a choice around what I'm transmitting. So therefore what I'm receiving. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't quite started your business yet, if you incorporate some of these things, I know for sure you won't have some of the challenging experiences I had back in 2006, 7, 8, around there. You'll be way ahead of the game. And no matter where we are, we can get ourselves ahead of the game. All right. So here's what we want to do. If you've been holding any of these energies or beliefs that, for example, starting a business is hard, having enough clients isn't easy, you're not ready, and I could look at some of these things, you're totally overwhelmed, I'm afraid to speak to anyone or get on a video. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Okay, so no matter what you're feeling around all of this, all of this. I want you to feel these thoughts and beliefs in your energy and your body. I want you to feel how your body feels with these. It's hard. I don't want to talk in front of everyone. I don't know if my clients are going to like me. What if they think I'm not helping them enough? What happens to your body, your energy, as you're just even considering that? It might not even be really yours. What happens? Anyone feel like you're kind of sinking into yourself? Your shoulders might even round. Somebody's saying ancestral energies. Absolutely. Yeah, you just contract, you pull inside yourself. These are not expansive thoughts, feelings, energies, and beliefs, are they? They're not helping us expand. And when we're growing a business, we're wanting to expand. Yeah. Ugh, I see in here, and feeling sluggish, right? So what we want to do is shift this up, because we don't want to be growing a business, which by definition is an expansive energy, right? If you're growing anything, the energy is expanding in it. We don't want to be trying to grow and expand and at the same time being contracted and constricted. Okay? So if we want to step out, offer our gifts and services, create the shifts and change that we feel like we're here to make on the planet, then what we want to do is create a positive shift and flow in those energies. Can you see this? Like, forget your logo. I have a brand new logo. Listen, I have nothing against logos and colors and all that, but can you see? You can have a gorgeous logo, but if your energy is contracted, who's going to appreciate your gorgeous logo and your colors and your website? You're going to appreciate it, but other people won't. And we want you to be out there changing the world. All right. So here's what I love to do. I do this all the time. And here it is. Da, da, da. Are we ready, Lacey? She's working on it. Go, Lacey. All right, thank you. Begin asking questions. And these aren't any kind of questions. These aren't questions with an answer. That's the key. Your beautiful mind, as soon as you start asking questions, right? We've been trained from the day we were born to answer questions. We don't feel good with open-ended questions, but these are energetically gold mines, okay? Open-ended questions create openings. Whew. They create pathways for more expansive energies, okay? And guess what? Everyone can do it right now. No training, no study, no financial investment. You can do it right now. I love that, right? We want a pathway for energetic change. So let's talk about some examples of open-ended questions that'll just kick this off for you. You're going to find your own that make you feel amazing. And what you want to do is just keep repeating them to yourself, especially if you feel funky, if you feel afraid, worried, frustrated around who you are. Remember that intersection of those three things: your business, you, and your vision. If any of it's feeling funky, drop into these open-ended questions to allow them to shift the energetic direction from contraction to expansion. Okay. You want to make sure you're fully breathing, expanding your lungs, because expanding your lungs is expansive also. So let's just feel into these. And if you have these in your workbook. Let me find the right page. Oh, you don't have these. There's space on page 5 for you to write this in. You can take a screenshot if it's still up there. But here, just feel this if you want. And ask this of yourself. What if it was easy to start to grow or expand my spiritual business? Allow yourself to feel that energy. What if it was easy? Now listen, some of you have brilliant minds. If your brilliant mind says, well, how am I going to do that? When am I going to do that? Am I going to do that? You just tell that big, beautiful mind of yours to just sit down and be quiet. You're busy. Put it on the shelf if you need to. How are you feeling? What if it was easy to start, grow, or expand my spiritual business? What if it was easier to create my business or my practice that I'm desiring, that I'm envisioning? What if it was easier than I could expect? How does that feel? Notice how that feels as you connect with that. What if I was not afraid to step out into the work, into the world as an energy healer, a coach, an intuitive, fill in the blank? What if I wasn't afraid to step out that way, in the way that I'm dreaming of? Those are kind of all if questions, but they're what if questions. I'm sorry. Let's just think, there's another way to do this. I wonder if I'm more ready than I could even imagine to begin my spiritual business. What if I'm more ready than I could even imagine to start, grow, expand my spiritual business? Or finish my book, start my podcast, create that retreat, fill in the blank with whatever you want. What if I know more than I think I do? What if there are more people waiting for me who need exactly what I have to offer in this moment? How does that energy feel? What if there are more people waiting for me who need exactly what I have to offer right now in this moment? Wouldn't it be fun to easily attract and magnetize to me, my ideal soul-aligned clients? Wouldn't that be fun? Who am I to keep from shining my light and supporting those who are waiting for me? Who am I to do that? So you can come up with an infinite number of open-ended questions. You can go through your day in your mind, going grocery shopping, fixing food, writing an article, taking care of your garden, your family, your pets, whatever, with nothing but these beautiful, energetically open-ended questions. As these questions were being asked, if you are in the space to tune into it, how many of you can feel that? Can you feel the shift, the openness? It might just feel like less pressure. It might feel like, thank you for those of you, I see your hands. It might feel like, even get moving from yucky to neutral is great movement, isn't it? And as I said, no training involved. You already know how to ask questions, right? No training involved. You can do it right now. You can do it constantly. And when you feel, you can open up to the subtlety of the energy of feeling, to feeling as you ask those questions and you breathe your way with it, you feel open. Now, here's the thing. Do we have an answer to all those questions? We don't. But it doesn't matter. Because what we want to do is take us from the box we're in. Our box is, oh, it's hard to be in business on your own. Oh, spiritual business, it's so much harder. All these people, light workers don't make money. They're impoverished. Somebody else has to support them. They've got another job, right? This is a box, isn't it? Filled with limitation and what? Conclusion. Conclusion. Now, are there light workers out there like that? Of course there are. Are there light workers not like that? Of course there are. Of course there are. So where do you want to be? It's your vibration. So when you know, going back to the energy concepts, that you're energetic and who you are and what you think is what you transmit to magnetically draw to you, ask these questions. Because as soon as you're more open, you have more capacity to receive a different experience. Does that make sense to everyone? Makes sense? Are you with me on that? When we open up our energetic field, it's like opening up an antenna, a receiver. It's like having a satellite dish. Like, go back, some of you might be too young for this, to the old antenna that used to be on top of your TV or on top of the roof of your house. That's how I grew up, right? You might need to go adjust it, or the wind blows and the antenna's not right anymore. It brought in what? Few stations locally. Then we have satellite dishes. They're like this, aren't they? Become a satellite dish with your open-ended questions. We're all going to be satellite dishes. How many of you like that idea? Be a satellite dish by opening your energy. Now, all we know is if we're transmitting an energy that is allowing us to be expansive without, the watched pot thing. Oh, wait, I did that for one day. My business hasn't changed, right? We want to just make it a new part of ourselves and then be open to new data, new information, new opportunities, new things that you never even thought of before to come in. Why? Because you have opened up your reception. Okay, so just imagine yourself as a satellite dish. There's a comment here. My husband delivers the open-ended questions for me. He found this program for me, so maybe ask your friends and family to support you. That's a good idea. Love that. Love that. There's another comment here. I do feel an energetic shift when asking these questions, right? Anytime just think about this. If I say, that's a really hard trail to walk up. What is it? It's a hard trail to walk up, isn't it? Does that statement sound like there's any movement or different possibility in it? It's a conclusion. Conclusions are dead ends. Judgment is a dead end. So wherever we're at, whatever conclusions we have, which is what those ideas that we were talking about before, those are conclusions. It's hard to be an energy worker. I'm never going to find enough clients. I can't make enough money. Those are conclusions. And feel the conclusion, feel the energy. It's not going to go anywhere. But you want to go somewhere. Everyone who's here listening to the replay on Facebook, on Zoom, you want to go somewhere because you would not be here. You would not be here if you didn't want to go somewhere else, right? Can we all agree to that? Yeah. And we're always going to want to be going somewhere else. Here's the reason why. We're dynamic, creative, universal beings. We exist in this energetic field of the universe that's always changing, always growing, always expanding. So guess what we're going to do? The same. We're always going to want to grow, change, and expand. So somebody's lots of yawning going on here. That's right. Those are our energetic shifts, and we're releasing a lot of energy. So here's the thing I want you to know also. However afraid you are right now, expect to be afraid. Expect it. Here's why. Now, I didn't say something that's a bummer, so don't get upset with me. I just got you all excited about being expansive. Now I'm saying something. No, we're going to keep, you know what? Here's the way it looks. We move into a space, okay? We can all imagine this. We move into a space, and maybe this is your new energy modality, right? And it feels so expansive, right? How many of you have experienced that? I just learned something new. It's so expansive. It's so great. I don't know if any of you have had this experience. After a while, it might not feel so expansive anymore. Maybe you start learning something new. You're drawn to something else. You might have filled the space of that expansiveness. You're a dynamic, energetic being aligned with the universe. Expect to, so when you hit that edge, oh, I've expanded out, those edges, we might get a little worried and fearful about, but this is my security place. I love this thing that I do, or I love these people I do it with, or what do I do if I'm not doing this modality anymore? But we're always going to be pushing the next boundary. So it's not a question of not being afraid. I'm afraid. I've been terrified in the last few months. Truth. Terrified. I'm here. I was terrified today several times. You know what? Here, I'll tell you one of them. We had 500 people at least sign up for this. And I'm going to swear, plug your ears. I swear. Okay. I went about an hour and a half before we started. I went, shit, my Zoom is I only pay for 100 people and I've got 500 people signed up for this. What am I going to do? Now, we don't have 500 people here, do we? That's okay. That's what happens. But I was terrified because suddenly I had to figure out how to buy more Zoom space in case more than 100 people showed up. I was terrified. My heart was beating. I was breathing fast. I was getting irritable with myself. Listen, we're going to be afraid. The key is not trying to eliminate that forever. What do you do with it? Because every time we get afraid, there's a boundary that we're being asked to push through, to grow to the other side for. And so we just need to have tools. That's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to look at tools that aren't just for the moment, but can grow with you. So that no matter what you come up against in your journey as an entrepreneur, you have something to help you move through it. We're not going to reach this place where we're always blissful because we're dynamic. We're going to keep growing. So I like to eliminate the idea that, oh, it's always going to be easy. I'm not striving for easy street. I'm striving for how do I navigate the next thing that's coming up so I feel empowered. I feel successful. I feel more than anything else aligned with what I'm here to do. And that's what spiritual tools can do for us, get us energetically aligned so that we're not sitting and wondering and waiting and feeling like we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, because yes, you're here to do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Victory. Yes, victory. Yay, victory. All right. So, and you know what? The other thing I want to say also is, I want you to be really kind to yourself. Can we just all raise our hand, put our hand on the heart, just be nice. Be nice to yourself first. Be nice to yourself first, because you truly are, I know this is a cliche, but it's true. You're doing the best you can. Because the truth is, If you could do it differently, you would, but you're here to find a different way. So we want to be nice and kind to ourselves. And let's ask that as an open-ended question. I wonder what it would be like if I was just really kind and on my side. Like, how fun would it be if I didn't criticize myself all the time? See, you can apply this idea of open-ended questions to everything. I love it when I'm in traffic. Like, what if it's easier for me to get through this traffic than I'm making up in my head right now? Right? It's fun. It's fun. And whether you get there fast or not, it doesn't matter. You just feel better and you're not gnashing your teeth. Now, that was kind of a funny thing for me to say. I live somewhere and I work from home, so I'm almost never in traffic. Total disclosure. I'm almost never in traffic. All right. So this is what you're going to do today, is start asking yourself open-ended questions about your business, about yourself, about what you believe to be true about spiritual business. Question everything, but in that open-ended way. Don't look for an answer. We just want our energies open. That's your quote unquote homework between now and then. No answers are necessary. Now, we have something special that I want to tell you about. Whether you're watching the replays, whether you're here on Zoom, Facebook, doesn't matter. One of you is going to win a one-to-one, a full hour-long Akashic Records reading with me if you play full out for 5 days. And now what does that mean? You don't have to be here live every single day. Don't worry. It's for everyone, even those of you, because I've had tons of people say, I'm not going to be there. I mean, close to half the people said, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be watching the replay. So everyone can win. So here's what you have to do. Every single day, there's something to do. And I just told you the one thing to do today. Start asking open-ended questions. Then what you do, if you're in the Facebook group, Conscious Conversations with Your Business, and Lacey's put it in the chats. Again, I know some of you are actually in there, but if you're in Zoom and you're not there yet, you'll see a cute little post in there. It went up 20 minutes ago in the group. And it talks about energy shift number 1. So under that, just type in some of your open-ended questions. You don't have to write an essay. Just type in 4 or 5 of them, whatever you like. Every day, we're going to have a little thing to do like that. Not hard. But please find that post in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, I'm going to give you an option. Don't worry. I never leave you hanging. So put it under that post. All right. If you do this every single day, and there's even a bonus one partway through our time. If you do it every single day, your name is going to be put in for a drawing to be the winner of the Akashic record reading. Now, how long do you have to do this? The replays are up until Sunday, February 26th. You have all that time to watch them and post that whole time. On Monday, the 27th, the winner is going to be announced. It'll be announced in the emails and it will be announced on the Facebook group. So you need to be one of those 2 places. Now, if you're one of the people who loathe Facebook, it's okay. I have a solution for you. Lacey, do you have my email address there available to you? Or should I type it in? Okay. Oh, look at her. She's so quick. So you can send me an email to the email address that if you're not in Facebook. And here's my suggestion if you want to listen to this. Can you please save it into a document and send me one thing or send me one email with each of your energy shift things? You don't have to send them every single day. I need to have all of them by Sunday, the 26th. Okay, if you want. If you don't mind, you don't want, then you don't have to, of course. Everything's always optional here. So that is the end of our time for today. And if anyone, wait, how do I do this? Actually, I'll offer that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll see if I can find a way that we meet together afterwards a little bit. But I want to say we're concluded for today. And I really thank you. So we did the whole 90 minutes. I told you we would, right? But tomorrow, I can't wait. We're going to open up the Akashic Records. This is so near and dear to me. I love the Akashic Records so much. I would not be who I am today without the Akashic Records. Hands down, no questions asked. On so many levels, I would not be who I am today. I am in the Akashic Records all the time for my business, in my business's records, for my own personal work, well, plus clients too. I do a lot of Akashic Record readings for people too. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So be here live if you can. If not, you can catch the replay. I love you so much. And I want you to love yourself and feel that success is possible for you. I know it is. We are in this together. And we want to get our light out into the world in our unique way, because that's how the world changes, because we're energetic beings and we're all connected. The world needs your light. It does, doesn't it? We as light workers, we need to step up here, folks. The world needs us. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I'm going to catch up with the chat afterwards. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. If you know people who signed up but weren't here, please encourage them to be here. It's just more fun with more people. But no matter what, can't wait to see all your open-ended questions. Take care, everyone. And thank you again, Lacey. Love you all. See you tomorrow.